In the last video we showed you surfacing a couple of nice black cherry slabs to make a window bench seat in the boss lady's room up here in the timber frame. And tonight what we're doing is we have to edge them so that we can get a nice tight fit together so we don't have much of a line going down. You can use a joiner, you can use a jack plane. I'm going to kind of cheat here a little bit. I'd like to use my big circular saw for this. It has a wide enough kerf, a couple of passes with a good fence. That's key, a real good fence. You can get a nice tight fit there. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the other side of it. So when you're dealing with slabs and you go to edge these things, a lot of times your saw, whatever you're using, is going to follow the twist in the slabs. And I don't care who you are, if these things have been drying for a few years, you're going to have some twists and stuff to deal with. It's the whole idea behind the router sled and surfacing it, getting it as flat as you can that way, and then it makes it possible to work with it further. So if you look where these come together, as long as you have it on a flat surface, and when you clamp these together, and you'll understand why I did it here quite shortly, when you clamp these together, you got to make sure that this board, or neither of your boards, are getting sucked up at all. So you can see right there, we've got quite a difference in the gap there. Plus we got a little crooked and following the line, which that's all right, the way it goes. But this is one of the easiest ways I know of to sit and edge these fairly decently. Say you don't have a joiner, say you don't have a nice jack plane. I have both, but you guys know I like to show multiple processes on this channel. And when I'm done, I may take it over to the joiner and we may just run it through there anyway, just to clean it up. Because sometimes you're not going to get it perfect with the saw. So the whole idea here is we want to take these, put them together. You don't want to suck them together so tight that you're going to pinch the saw blade. But you want to suck them together so they're not going to spread apart as you're cutting. Now that saw kerf on that is a good 1/8 of an inch. And by the time we get down to this end, we're really not going to be cutting. So it's going to take a couple of passes to get this sucked together tight. The edge here, where some of the growth range had a little grain shake in these slabs, this tree, if you can't tell by the bow in it, was under quite a bit of stress as it grew. The other thing I want to point out, if you're doing it this way, get these slabs lined up the way you want to orient them for your end project, because if you slide them one way or the other, and you're only doing this with a saw, if you don't put them together exactly how you cut them, you're not going to have a nice tight line down the middle. So we're going to do a fence board, just one of these old 1x boards. They're pretty straight. We're going to clamp it onto the bigger piece, and then we're just going to clamp it so the edge, so the center of the saw blade follows the center of this crack right here. So let's see what we can get. Now this only really works well if you have a nice straight edge, and these boards are actually pretty decent. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this one. Now, I know biscuit joints are really going out of style quite a bit in the woodworking community. They're kind of been traded in for the domino jigs, which honestly, they work great. It's like having a floating tenon inside of a mortise. They're super strong joint. Obviously, biscuits are not going to be as strong as the dominoes, but they certainly do have their place, especially if you're doing tabletops, where you're really, the most important thing to me is lining everything up for that glue up. Now, they're gonna create some strength, but it's not like those things have a ton of shear strength. But I will tell you this. I've used biscuit joints for quite a while and a lot of different things. I've never had any issues with them. I've never had one give up the ghost on me. And honestly, any of my woodworking buddies, I haven't heard where they've had any of the issues either. So, where we're at with this project, that top's glued up. Now, I'm not going to do anything with it while it's glued, simply because we'll wait till it dries and cures up so we know we have a really strong top. Tomorrow night I can unclamp it and we'll just see where we are. We can square up the ends, and then probably what I'm going to do is sand it down. We have to work the edge yet with the draw knife a little bit, or the big gouge. I'm not sure which one we're doing yet, but we'll see what develops there. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this one and you are new here, like, subscribe, all that good shit that we say here on YouTube to get your attention and to get your views. Not that we're begging for your view charity, but I guess I'm begging for your view charity. So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you on the next one.